What's poppin', internet? Welcome to another episode of the Synced Up Podcast, the show where we talk to you about news, games, and sandwich a little fun in between. I'm one of your hosts, Timothy the Road. Joining me this week is your boy Michael Clare.
World
Of course,
star.
my voice is still fucked up. I feel like
From what?
it's from the football game, man.
Oh, you been yelling?
No, I was screaming.
Yeah.
I was screaming hard.
What's your favorite chant?
And I was screaming hard, babe.
Did they do the classic? The F Joe Biden?
No,
You weren't near the student section. Then.
No. Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was there was really no chance to happen.
Really?
The closest thing to a chance was cheering for chant was cheering for Stoops.
My favorite is
Stoops.
always my favorite's always that you can't do that.
No, there was a chant.
I love that you can't do that. The beep beep beep. Anything with the flags.
There was a chant about like a play review. Can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it was. It was a long game. It was cold as fuck.
Bullshit's
Bullshit's classic. Yeah, bullshit's classic. No, it was a good time though.
Yeah, the game's always good.
Can't wait to lose next week.
I think your voice sounds fine.
I really hope we don't lose. I can just feel it though.
Yeah.
But I can't. I hope we don't lose next week because we're currently on a really long streak of winning records in the Big 12.
Yeah.
And we currently have one by one game. So if we lose next week, it's like an even record. And I really don't want that.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm just saying.
Who are you, bro?
I'm just saying I don't want that.
I don't know you anymore.
Big 12 chance, baby.
I'm so shook.
Anyway, today we're going to talk about Microsoft and Sony. Today we're going to talk about
that's
Microsoft and streaming. And we're also going to talk about Predecessor because this is my podcast. So we do whatever the fuck I want. Also, this week in gaming and some reader mail. You know how it goes. Anyway. And Mike's going to talk about Pokemon. And I finished God of War, and I'm going to talk about that.
I'm going to talk about Pokemon longer than you talk about Predecessor.
Well, of course, yeah. But I just got a little bit to say about Predecessor because, it's a piece of news that I give a shit about. So I put it in here, even though no one else cares. I'll make you care. Anyway, Microsoft and Sony. So the New York Times reported here recently this week that Xbox offered Sony a 10-year deal to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation in response to all of these different, I don't know what you would call them, bureaus or investigation things that have been going on to keep in check this Microsoft Blizzard Activision acquisition to make sure there's no like some antitrust laws, monopoly laws and stuff. And so I guess in the midst of all that, Sony has been offered by Microsoft a 10-year deal to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. I don't think that's too incredibly surprising.
No, I feel like that's a good amount.
Yeah, the contract already is like 3 years out or whatever, so we knew it would be on there for that long at least. But it seems like the biggest point of contention for all of these investigative bodies is the Call of Duty franchise. So just getting ahead of it and being like, look, here's a 10-year contract to keep Call of Duty on their thing just so we can show you that we are committed to keeping it there and we're not going to take it from them is a good idea, at least for their business practices. And also because I would like a lot of free games on Game Pass. But, that's besides the point.
Maybe I'm unaware.
Unaware?
But video games industry, big industry.
Yeah, it's the largest. Yeah.
Yeah. How come there's we know about lobbying from other industries?
Of course.
Big oil.
Yeah.
Pharma.
Yes.
We never hear about video game lobbying.
Yeah, it's because the reason is because back in the day, if you remember, what was that? Someone knocking?
Who's that knocking on my door?
Was that
Someone's ringing. Why'd you goof us all? You goofed us all, bro.
You goofed us all.
I looked like an idiot, bro.
We're dummy.
We were talking about politics.
Anyway, I think it comes from, if you remember back in the day when there was all the Mortal Kombat stuff and there's like classic, what's going on? Why was there so much talking in the peanut gallery? Anyway, all the government bodies or whatever were getting like investigating into the video games industry because they didn't have a rating system, and there was like, oh my god, Mortal Kombat is making our kids want to murder people.
True.
That was like a whole thing. So then they founded the ASRB, and the video games industry said, hey, we can govern ourselves, and the government said, all right. And so since then,
we've been chilling.
Yeah, since then we're an industry that it has there's no government regulation in
this just
video
made me
games.
think that I never hear Microsoft CEO found lobbying politicians and the numbers like you feel like if this was any other industry that would definitely be happening.
That's because the video games industry governs itself.
That's kind of crazy. I feel like I guess film does that too. Most of the entertainment industry, right?
Yeah.
I mean the sports stuff's a little interesting, but most of the time that's self-contained.
Yeah, you don't really need to lobby.
That was off topic, but it was something that interested me.
Yeah, staying in the Xbox realm, though, on top of that Xbox PlayStation 10-year deal that was coming out, Xbox lead Phil Spencer came out and said that the streaming box is going to be on hold until they can nail down the price. They've been trying to get this streaming box, good and ready to go, and they say with hardware limitations, the price of chips and things like that right now, they can't get it to the price point that they want it to be at, which is around $99 to $129.99. That's a good price point to be at. And so saying that like, hey, we're not going to create this thing because there's just no way we can hit this price point, and anything more expensive, frankly, at least to the consumer, in my eyes, and obviously in their eyes, is not worth it for a streaming box. So
because then it becomes a more niche device instead of something like the everyman can have in his house.
Exactly, and you want it to be what the everyman can have in his household. You know what else I want to be what an everyman can have in his household? The fucking Steam Deck. I don't know what's going on.
You had the opportunity.
I got a couple recos. Yeah, well, you can just buy it now, so it's fine. Okay. But there's a couple recommended videos that popped up in my feed about the Steam Deck, and I've watched them, and I'm fucking sold. I want one.
You've been sold.
What happened?
But when did we jump off the train?
I didn't jump off the train. It's like the train. It's like I got off on the station, right? A layover train. And I was waiting.
You were about to have to pay for the ticket, and you were like, I could just walk.
Yeah, I could just walk. But now I realize I want to be back on the train. But it's just, it was an actual visual representation of not just hearing people talk about how great it is and the cool stuff. It was like let me break down why this is the best like handheld big thing that you can buy in the market right now, and let me show you the emulation straight up. Let me show you the menus straight up. Let me show you how Resident Evil 2 runs on this bitch. Let me show you how, you know, all these other Horizon, now that it's a PC game on Steam. Let me show you that on the Steam Deck and how it's actually, you know, graphics quality is a little less, but it actually runs perfectly fine. Yeah. And I was like, dude, that's good shit. And then the emulation, like, and also a little, you know, of course, if you legally own copies of the games, there was like, he was doing like Switch emulation and stuff on there. So he had like Sword and Shield and Breath of the Wild, and I was like, "Hey, yo, if I could
show me that Scarlet and Violet runs better on the Steam Deck than the Switch,
if you could,
I might be sold.
If you can reduce some chugging on these modern games, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if he was emulating or if they had some sort of adapter that you could just play Switch games on the thing. I don't know what exactly it is, but he did play Breath of the Wild on it. He was playing Pokemon Sword and Shield. He was playing like Mario Odyssey on the Steam Deck, and it looked. Yeah. And then of course showing old school emulation with the GameCube games and stuff like that. And he was virtually saying that aside from the Switch, and then anything from like PS2 previous, you know, if that's what you want in emulation, then you're good. If you want like 360 PS3 emulation, then it's not the best. But like, really, honestly, who wants that? Like, obviously, there's people that want that, but for me, like,
I feel like most people who want that emulation probably still have that console.
Yeah, and it's like,
and it's dirt cheap.
Yeah, and you would think. Most people who are going to be emulating something, they want old school Nintendo stuff for the most part. And then, of course, it emulates stuff on the PSP and the PS Vita like perfectly. Yeah. And it has the back touchpad to work where the PS Vita stuff. And there's just so much cool stuff. And being able to change specific settings like frame rate caps and how hot, like how much the fan runs so it doesn't overheat when you're playing certain games. And you can change those like settings game to game just within Steam. And you can install Windows if you want. You can keep it on Linux and do crazy stuff there. Yeah. And he was even saying, he's saying as a college student, this is a good purchase because it is usable as like a thing that you can get. It has a stand or whatever. You buy a wireless keyboard, and it's very much usable as a thing for just using like Microsoft Word and PowerPoint and shit like that to use even in school. And I was like, dude, that's good stuff.
I think where I fall short on enjoying a product like this is I have this problem where like I feel like I'm not going to use it to its full capability. Yeah. Therefore, it's not for me.
Yeah. I think that I wouldn't. That's like I agree because like for the most part I'm like I don't want to invest in a bunch of stuff because I don't think I would use it a lot. And I think the same thing here. I could see myself just like buying it and then it's basically doing what my Switch is currently doing, which is just collecting dust. But I honestly don't think it would because I have so much of a big backlog of Steam games, and I think the idea of being able to just sit on the couch and do that, which is what I can do with the Switch, but we're talking about a powerhouse of a system. We're talking about something that has a wider variety of games in the Switch. We're talking about something that has better control over specific things than the Switch with the trackpads. They say the trackpads are really good on top of having the joysticks and stuff like that. Like, I want one bad at this point. Like, I want one so bad. I want to get one. Oh, it will be great. Fucking Steam Deck. The SSD now. I think I might get it with my taxes. Yeah, you could just
TF2 on the go.
TF2 that was.
He just listed all the things you could do with it,
and you said,
and you're gonna play TF2 on the go.
On the go. Oh my god! I probably would play a lot more Civ because it has the trackpad or the touchscreen.
I don't think you would.
And then I love that fucking game. And then I would definitely play, and I wouldn't like play it religiously, but I would be playing fucking, Prince of Persia on the GameCube. Wind Waker on the GameCube. I would be getting those titles and playing those at least.
My desire to play old
Game
games
Boy and shit
is not there. I like
it's there a little bit for me. I love it.
It has to be some type of remaster or something. Like, even playing old Pokemon games.
Yeah.
I know people are obsessed with playing old Pokemon games.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't get, like I played Radical Red, and that was fun.
Yeah.
Because it was different.
Like a really cool thing.
But you cannot just be like,
yeah.
You should go play Fire Red today, just casually. Yeah. I'm like, no, I don't do that. And I don't want... It's even less for, like...
Yeah.
Any other game.
It's also cool for me because not only is it a handheld that works great to playing these PC games, is it has access to the Steam modding library.
Yeah.
And so I could on the go also play dope ass mods on games, and that is also pretty enticing for me.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't like fucking modding games? It's the shit. And if I could do it with ease on my couch. And like we talk about this all the time. My biggest point of contention with PC games right now is I don't want to sit at the desk and play them. Like I would play a lot more PC games if I could play them on my couch. And having the Steam Deck, like for example, when Inscription came out, I would have played that day one.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to sit at my desk. And so now that it's coming out on the Switch, I will play it when it comes out on the Switch. And I there's a laundry list of games that always is like, here, this thing is on PC. And that's it. I could play Predecessor on the fucking Steam Deck. That's all I'm saying. Speaking of Predecessor, the next story. It's not really a story, but Predecessor, if anybody who doesn't know, you've lived under a rock.
No, I think you've lived perfectly fine.
Yeah, you've lived perfectly fine, but you haven't lived around me.
Yeah.
Predecessor is the spiritual successor to Paragon, a game back in the day that was a MOBA created by Epic Games. They canceled it when Fortnite decided to become the biggest thing in the fucking world. But then they said, you know what? We know you guys are passionate about this, and we know you guys love this, so we're going to release all of the assets and all of the code out into the wild for free. Anybody can use it and make their own game. Boom. They did that. Predecessor picked up the mantle. There's actually a few games that have done this. There's Over Prime, which is a new one that's popped up on the scene. And there's one that starts with an E. I can't remember the name up that are also using Paragon assets and stuff.
Yeah.
But Predecessor seems to be the one at the top of the pile with the most funding, with the most marketing. It is going to go free to play on December 1st. Not free to play. Early access. Oh, okay. So it's $5. But it will go free to play eventually. But it goes on early access December 1st, so you can get in and actually play the game fully with a bunch of people, not in a beta weekend. Fully play the game with what's available in early access for just a crisp $5. You can pay more than $5 to get more cosmetics and more stuff if you want. There's like a $15 package, a $25 package. The $5 package gets you everything functional, though. You get all the heroes. You get all that stuff. Yeah. But the bigger packages will give you more cosmetics and things of that nature. I will be purchasing this bad boy. I don't know how much of it I'm going to play because, of course, it's on the PC. I don't like sitting at my desk. I've already said that. But I will play some of it for sure. And then when this bad boy goes free to play and comes out on console, I will be dragging the homies to play this shit. At least for a couple
kicking
rounds.
And screaming.
Yes.
I will be...
dude, but it's a good game, dude.
MOBA's on Xbox.
It's good. This one, I'm telling you, bro.
I mean, I'll give it a shot.
It's good shit.
I'll give it a shot, bro.
It's good shit. Anyway, so yeah, Predecessor going into early access December 1st. Get excited. Anyway, that's it for the news.
I'm excited for you.
Before we get into the things that we've been playing in This Week in Gaming, a little bit of housekeeping for you. If you enjoy watching this show, you should consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/syncedup, where for $1 you can get access to our lovely Discord, where, what are we doing right now?
Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo. He fell down the stairs, man. He fell down the stairs.
Bro, I saw T-Pain shoot Ludwig.
Damn.
I think I already told you that.
That's hard shit.
Yeah,
that's raw shit right there.
He's got street cred now.
Yeah, street cred. Anyway, yeah, for $1 you can get access to our lovely Discord where we shoot the shit. Right now it's a lot of video essay talk.
Yeah, if you didn't watch yesterday's post show,
it wasn't the post show. It was actually the end of the episode.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Well, go watch yesterday's episode if you haven't already. Give it a view. It's a good video.
It is.
But the end is really... It's basically 2 videos. It's us talking about everything else we normally do, and then the back half is like 15 minutes of video essay talk.
Yeah.
There's some good video essay talk in there.
Good shit. Or... started the choke. Or for $5 you get access to that Discord and the post shows of all the shows that we do and many more goodies, all from youtube.com/synceduppodcast and podcasting services around the globe. New episodes of this show specifically go up in all those feeds Tuesdays, 7 a.m. Central Time Zone gang. You should also consider following us on Twitter at synceduppod to keep up to date with all of our content from across the big old board. Twitter for now, it might go away. Nah. Also, yeah, you're probably right, but who knows?
No. The consumer base has honestly increased.
Yeah, it feels that way.
I agree with...
Speaking of the board.
The board.
We recently ranked The Cat Returns. That's the latest Ghibli film that we ranked on the Synced Up Filmcast over there. If you are interested in that, you should jump over to the Synced Up Filmcast by searching it in your favorite podcasting services and looking for the red and white logo, or in the same YouTube feed. It's there. You know it. You've seen it. The Synced Up Filmcast. I don't know what episode number it is, but
73.
73. Hell yeah. We ranked The Cat Returns, and we're going to rank Howl's Moving Castle next week. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, go there and do that. Anyway, before we get into the talk, time for this week in gaming. Okay, I forgot to type it out again. So here we are, but I know where I'm supposed to end. Okay, so I'm scrolling. This is me vamping. There really is not shit on November 21st.
My homeboys will get you, pay you.
Alpha Sapphire Omega Ruby in 2014.
That was a good one.
Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U in 2014 on November 21st.
That was the same day?
Yeah, same day.
How did I function?
That feels good.
What? Wait, for the Wii U?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No. I know how I functioned.
How?
They released it on the 3DS 3 months earlier.
Yeah.
So I had my fill.
You done had it. November 22nd, Sid Meier's Pirates in 2004.
City Boy.
The 360 in 2005. That's a pretty big deal. Undead Nightmare in 2010 for Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead.
Cowboys. The Xbox One, Dead Rising 3, Forza Motorsport 5, Killer Instinct, and Rise Son of Rome, all on November 22nd, 2013. And also, A Link Between Worlds deciding to drop the same day as a big console. 2013.
Wowza.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff. That's crazy stuff. And then that's on console. That's a console release. November 23rd, you got World of Warcraft in 2004. That's a big deal. Doodle Jump in 2010. That's also a big deal.
What? No.
Yeah.
What does that say?
Doodle Jump 2010.
On phone?
Yeah.
No, where is it? Show me. Android? Okay, it was definitely on iOS before that.
You think so?
Before 2010, 100%.
Are you 100% positive?
Yes.
How 100%? Because that would have been 6th or 7th grade for us. That sounds accurate.
No, it's definitely before that. It was like 2008.
Doodle Jump.
Check me.
2009.
I was close.
You were close. Close.
I knew. I felt it in my bones. Bro.
Let's see.
In my bones.
What specifically? So, it was released iOS
first,
March 2009, and was later released for Android and BlackBerry, March 2010. There you go.
I
smart guy.
I know my facts.
You know your mobile games. Death's Door last year in 2021. That's a banger.
That's still on my Xbox. I've never played it yet.
That's a good one, man.
I want to.
Yeah, that's a good one. November 24th, you got Donkey Kong Country in 1994. Donkey Kong 64 in 1996. The Simpsons Road Rage in 2001. That's a good one.
No, it's not, bro.
Yes, it is, bro. Those are classic.
You're thinking of Hit and Run, bro.
No, well, they're both good. Gran Turismo 5, 2010. Beyond Two Souls in 2015. I love that game, actually. Fun fact. And that's it for November 24th. November 25th.
The 5th.
The website don't want to load.
5.
There it goes.
Christmas of November.
You have
nothing.
Currently nothing.
Cortana.
Nothing going on.
Dragon Rampa.
Epic Mickey in 2010.
Yo, you know what that reminds me of?
And that's it. Yeah, the blob. November 26th, you have Turok Dinosaur Hunter in 1997. That's fucking classic, bro. I love Turok. You ever played this shit?
Isn't there a remake in the pipeline?
It was I think I got canceled.
Tragic.
Video Strip Poker Classic in 2002.
Same
day as Cabela's Big Game Hunter.
That's a big day for the dogs, bro.
Yeah,
the boys were eating.
Woo! Sonic Dash in 2013. No, dude, please. And that's it. November 27th, the final day.
The last
You
day.
have Kirby's Dream Land 3 in 1997. You have Darksiders 3 in 2018. Red Dead Online in 2018. And that's all. There you go.
Pretty week, huh?
Yeah, it's a week. Now it's time to talk about the things that we've been playing.
Things though we've been playing.
Before Michael Clare gets into his big talk about Pokemans
Scarlett and Violet,
I'm going to quickly talk about, of course, God of War.
Wow.
No spoilers, but I have rolled credits twice on God of War.
Twice?
Because you know how those games go. You roll the credits, and then there's stuff you do after the fact with some side quests, and then you roll credits again. It's like a quick. So
okay.
I've done.
Okay. I thought you meant you played through the game twice.
Mainly through the people who have played the game. Understand that I have seen the second credits. That's important. So I have rolled credits on the game.
Yeah.
And I finished it. God of War Ragnarok is a fucking spectacular game.
Yeah.
No surprise there. Of course. I've already said before when I talked about this game on last week's episode that it really feels like a perfect, like a sequel, like a really good one that introduces just the right amount of new stuff to keep it fresh and new, and does some like cool things. With the spoiler thing that I mentioned last week, of course, that you asked for, that introduces some really cool and interesting things, not just fun, like mechanical and gameplay wise and combat wise, but also story wise, which is really cool. There's virtually nothing in this game that falls short. There's a bit of a lull period in the middle where the story's not really popping off, but even still, you're still very invested. There's still cool stuff going on. It does classic God of War stuff, man. The in-between stuff, what we praised God of War 2018 for being, where you had really cool conversations that would happen while you're on the boat, or while you're fast traveling, or while you're doing stuff. Those feel even more important and even like cooler and better now, and make you love those characters so much more. The side content in this game has been stepped up tenfold. There is side content in this game that blows my mind that it is not required of you to do, where like it'll happen and I'm like, why? This should have been inputted into the main game, or it feels like something that was in the main game and they were like, our runtime is too long, we're going to take it out, but not take it out, just make it a side path, right? Yeah. What's going on? What does it say? That should be fine. Hopefully. Scroll. Yeah, the mics are still going. Usually that's fine.
Is it?
Usually.
Well, we'll cut it right after you finish talking about God of War.
Okay, all right. So anyway, yeah, it's like it feels like side stuff that's just like, why is this side stuff? Why isn't this a main thing? Mm-hmm. I love where the story goes. I love where the characters end up. I love if you've seen the Untangling God of War video essay, since we're gonna keep talking about video essays this week, have you seen it?
No.
It's good shit. It really talks about how the original God of War subverts your expectations as someone who understands the Norse mythology and where it's supposed to go, but yet still follows it. But in like one of those things where you're like, prophecy exists, but like not really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, you're going to go here and be surrounded by death. And
like
then
monkey's paw type.
Yeah. And then you go there and it's fall, like autumn. So it's like, oh, the leaves are dying. That was the surrounded by death that they made. So they follow it like that, where you're like, this isn't in the Norse mythology. But when you think about it, you're like, but it is. Like, it is just in like a metaphorical sense. And so they did that in the first game. Excellent. They do it even fucking better in this game, where you're just like, dude, because I'm someone who, of course, I really like mythology. I like the Norse mythology. I like Greek mythology, Roman mythology. I eat that shit up. I love it so much. So I'm very, very familiar with Norse mythology and what happens and what's supposed to happen and things like that in the different things going on. So knowing where the story's probably going to go, because I'm familiar with the stories in Norse mythology, the ways that they somehow still subvert those expectations while following it faithfully, it just blows my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And so like things would happen and I'd be like, oh man, I'm surprised. But then you would think about it for a second and be like, but that's still exactly what the fuck was supposed to happen. So it's like really good stuff. I loved it. The characters on 10, the music on 10, the performances so fucking good. Of course, I cried at the end. I do believe that this game is better than the 2018 God of War. I know some people disagree with me on that. I don't think it's possible to think that this one isn't better than the 2018 God of War. I think the only real way that people say that the 2018's God of War was better is because it was fresh and new, and this is kind of the same. But when you think about it, to me, in a more objective lens, this one is just better. It has a good, just as good, if not better story, just as good, if not better music, just as good, if not better performances. There's cool stuff to do in the world. It's not over the top. You have new mechanics that are introduced on top of the old ones without making you feel bogged down. Like, it's good stuff.
So without spoiling it, where does this franchise go? Are we seeing another installment probably?
I think, well, they've already stated that they're done with Norse mythology. They haven't stated that they're done with God of War. I think that Kratos is too big of a moneymaker at this point to not do more stuff. Right? So you could do spin-offs, you could do a prequel, you could do, hey, let's just have him jump into Egyptian times. Is this after the Norse mythology? Is this before the Norse mythology? Is this like right before he gets there? You know, you could do any amount of things with the God of War property. So like it makes too much money, right? So I think they're still going to do something. I don't know what they're going to do. This one ends in a way where they could keep doing Norse stuff if they wanted. But they also could let this be the bow tie on Norse mythology, and they could, have Kratos go on an adventure and do some other stuff. Or they could have Atreus go on an adventure and make a game where you play as Atreus. And like people were talking about, like, you can make a game where you play as Atreus and call it God of Mischief, right? And do something like that. Yeah. Of course, that doesn't have as much, cachet as Kratos because he's Atreus. People don't like him as much, but he's a good character. And Sonny Soljic plays him very, very well. But I could see them going the other mythology. I could see them doing spinoffs. I could see them doing prequels. I could see them just continuing in Norse. I really don't know what they're going to do. I could also see them taking a break and us not seeing Kratos or God of War or anything like that for 8 years. Yeah. It really could be we don't get that PS5 exclusive God of War. I'm not 100% sure, but it feels good. The ending and then the extra ending on top of the ending feels like the perfect fucking bow tie. Like when I got to the regular ending, I was like, God, dude, that was so good. Yeah. You're just like, dude, this was the coolest shit that I've ever fucking seen. And then you get to the extra ending and it feels like the perfect, like, the ending was the gift, and then that extra ending was just like you tied the bow on the wrapping, and you're like, that's good shit, because it like references other stuff, and it ties so nicely in a bow where you're like, that's the closure and the ending that really this thing needed. Yeah. I also think this game elevates the side characters to another level that they weren't in the first game. They're much more lovable, they're much more fleshed out, and they're much more relatable. You think about them more, and you're like, I love Sindri. I love Brock. I love Freya. These are characters that feel so much more complex and so much cooler in this game than they did in the last one. And that's not any fault of their own. Brock and Sindri were dwarves who had a miniature side quest where they kind of had some brotherly drama, and you helped them fix that shit, and that's where it ended up going. But in this one, like, that really blows up on another level where Brock and Sindri feel like characters on the level of Kratos. Like, it's really, really good. I also think this game made me genuinely believe that Kratos is one of, if not the best character in video games in terms of the dynamicness, in terms of where his story goes, of who he is as a character. Like, he's just so fucking good. So
who's in contention for that, Mark?
I'm not sure because it's a hard thing to, like, I think Kratos with these two games starts to become a genuine solid contender for the classic video game Mount Rushmore conversation. Yeah. And then I also think in terms of just narrative characters, when you think of, like, I don't know, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, when you think of is any, like, Nathan Drake, you think of Ellie and Joel from The Last of Us, like these narrative driven big characters. I really genuinely believe that Kratos is probably the best of them all.
Well, I think he probably does something that where, a character like Chief, you as the player feel very badass. Yeah. Because he is a badass character. Yeah. But there's not too much depth to the character. Yeah. And someone's going to be like, oh, the Chief does have a bunch of depth. Well, no. Not unless I dig for it. Yeah. But I feel like from what I've heard about people playing God of War and what you're talking about, Kratos is that badass character with a lot more depth.
And it blows my mind because you look at where they came from with God of War 1, 2, and 3 and how those were just hack and slash games where you just do sexual quick time events and just rage out. Yeah. And these games are so much more bombastic and crazy than that, and give depth to a character that really felt like a nothing character that was like something in PlayStation history that we weren't going to think about ever again. He's now like a staple. Yeah. So I don't know. Good shit. I dig
it. All right.
All right. We're going to cut real quick and we're going to bring back.
We're going to check the video.
And we're back. Sorry about that. We just had a little bit of technical difficulties. Had us worried that our episode was going to be corrupted.
But it's all Gucci, baby.
But we're chilling. We are chilling. Gucci. Everything is fine, as you already know, because you got here. Worry, bro. Anyway, you played some Pokemons.
I have.
Violet, actually.
Yeah, Violet.
Wait, no, Scarlet.
What it should have been Scarlet, but it's all right. We are where we are. I'm going to have both copies. I'm chilling. I'm happy. Yeah, of course. I'm living life.
Let me check the delivery on that right now.
Yeah, go. I'm curious, bro. I want my game.
Yeah.
I'm about 20 hours in, I think.
Goddamn.
That sounds about right. I could be wrong. It might be like 15, might be 25, but 20 seems right. What's the date?
No updates. On a boat.
I'm on a boat. It'll get here eventually. Dude,
last update was Saturday.
Dude, it is the classic.
This feels even more classic though. As in, like, it does. It's very bad.
It's like it's like very noticeably one step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah,
I'd say 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Because I've seen some bad shit on Twitter.
You've seen a lot of bugs, And it's not game-breaking stuff.
Yeah.
It's like funny haha bugs.
Yeah.
Like I'm playing multiplayer with my friends, and for some reason the game glitches out when you walk through the battle screen.
Yeah.
It's mostly that kind of stuff.
Frame drops.
I've heard people having crashes.
Yeah,
I haven't.
Tim Getty said that he's played 15 hours of the game and has had 8 hard crashes.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I don't know why. I don't know. I know why. The game is poorly optimized.
It's bad, man.
There's a lot of those kind of issues. And what do I start with? The good or the bad?
I don't know. I don't know. But for me, it's like, obviously I'm not someone who's played it, but it really blows my mind. Is this the worst AAA game? Like, not as in like the game is bad, but as in like
worst on release.
Yeah, where you're like, dude, it's like, how is it that there's so much of this bad shit?
Yes,
and it made it through testing, and you got to the end, and you were like, we're gonna ship this.
It's because for some reason that doesn't matter for a Pokemon game.
Of course, but
it should.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating. I think it's important.
And you see it in the fan reception too.
Yeah, I think it's important to talk about the past 3 years for Pokemon. Yeah, or 4 years. I think it's 3 years.
It's been definitely interesting.
So Sword and Shield dropped about 3 years ago. I think is the number. I could be 4. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
And that dropped. It dropped, and there was not really that many problems.
Mm-hmm.
The game ran fine.
Yep.
You're not seeing the problems we have here.
No.
But the game's ass.
Yeah, the game's not great.
I will say, for a non-Pokemon fan, the game's kind of boring.
Yeah.
I can find infinite enjoyment from playing Pokemon games, so it's fine for me.
Yeah.
But for new people, that game was ass.
Of course.
The DLC was cool.
Mm-hmm.
The wild area is cool.
Of course.
But for some reason, the linear routes weren't fun. The story was terrible. There's just a lot of problems with Sword and Shield.
Mm-hmm.
The DLC saved it for me. That's why I have good memories of it, and it was a lot of fun. Then, so you get a year DLC, and then GameFreak drops. Well, GameFreak didn't drop Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. They had another company do Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. That was mid because it was just a straight like remake. Okay,
yeah,
fine, whatever. Then GameFreak drops the best Pokemon game I've ever played in my life.
Pokemon Arceus, yeah.
Pokemon Arceus is fantastic.
And honestly, it runs fine. It just has some visual stuff.
I think it took me playing Scarlet and Violet to appreciate Arceus more.
Yeah, because Arceus really just has pop-in and bad textures and, you know, of course, old school RuneScape frame rates when things are really far away.
Yeah.
But nothing that was like...
But that's like
I wasn't having frame drops. I wasn't having like crazy visual glitches.
Yeah.
And nothing like that in that game.
And I will say, that game came out 9 months ago, 8 months ago.
Yeah, January.
And when you realize that game was made by the same team that just released Scarlet and Violet, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Why are we releasing 2 of the biggest Pokemon games I've ever seen
in 9 months?
9 months apart.
It's probably why.
It's exactly
so
why.
Fucking bad.
It's Game Freak's fault and it's Pokemon Company's fault.
Yeah.
Say what you want about the Switch hardware, you can still run beautiful games on the Switch.
Yes, sir. We've seen it. Xenoblade Chronicles.
And so it's just there's reasons why the game is like this, and it's because it's 9 months after Arceus.
Yeah.
And it feels like blood, sweat, and tears was put into Arceus to make that a great game.
Yeah.
And they said, well, now people like that, so you're gonna have to shove as much of that as you can into your next game.
Yeah.
That comes out in 9 months.
It's pretty insane.
Yeah. I think what made Arceus the best Pokemon game was how you were constantly in the action, right?
Yeah, you were doing shit.
You were knocking out trees, catching Pokemon, fighting. There wasn't really trainers, but you're always making your way to your next goal.
Yep.
Pokedex completion you were always working on. Like after you caught a Pokemon, you still had 20 things to do with that Pokemon. There's a lot of cool things there. That's toned down a little bit in Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
There's not trees to hit and rocks to smash. You can't just constantly chuck Pokeballs.
Yeah, that was really good for that game.
Yeah, and it was great for Arceus. And it kind of hurts this game a little bit, I think. I think if you're a casual fan, you won't notice it. If you were hardcore and loved Arceus, you'll notice it. But there's still lots of Pokemon. There's constantly Pokemon appearing. There is items on the ground, TMs. Like, there's still that feeling of, like, I'm always doing something. I'm fighting a trainer. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. It's just not as fast-paced, which I think kind of hurts a little bit.
Yeah, the fast-paced nature of Arceus was nice.
And then, I mean, what other bad things can I say? There's a lot of quality of life features that were in Arceus that didn't make it. The evolve button. You can change your moves whenever, so that's fine. I think that's really it. It's like the evolving one.
Can you buy items to evolve Pokemon you would need to trade?
I don't know if they have that item. Okay. I don't think it's
because I've seen a lot of people asking to do trades.
It's really just like stuff. Gengar, but you can still get a Gengar.
Well, yeah, of course. But you can't just. There's no way to do it by yourself.
No.
Yeah. Because Arceus had that, which was very nice.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So I think those are the main negatives. Obviously, performance issues, and some of the quality of life features didn't make it. But this game is very, very fun.
Yeah,
it is incredibly massive.
Yeah, like I've seen the pics.
Arceus was big. Mm-hmm. The maps felt big enough.
They're large.
This is like take 10 of those Arceus maps.
Yeah,
there's only 5.
Yeah,
get an extra 5.
Very large.
Put them all on the same map.
Very large.
It is huge, dude. I am spending hours just combing through areas, like fighting different Pokemon. Occasionally there will be like a rare Pokemon spawn. I'm like, oh my god, what's that doing over here? And I'll catch it, whatever. And that's all I'm doing, bro. Like Cena has beat the game.
Yeah, he rushed the game.
And we probably have the same amount of time. I have 2 badges. And we probably have the same amount of time.
He wanted someone to beat the game so he could talk to him about it.
I feel bad because he's like, can we trade endgame stuff? I'm like, bro,
no sir,
you're gonna have to contact me in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
because I will be grinding. And there's just I think the story is more interesting. There's the open worldness is good. Mm-hmm. It's you can challenge things in whatever order you want. There's not really scaling, but there's a pretty good guide you can follow if you want to like take things in order. Mm-hmm. It's just fun. It's a whole lot of fun, and I can't explain why. And I don't think anybody can.
Yeah.
Every time I've seen a lot of opinions, and none of them have just been, I hate this game.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's always been, this game
bad,
sucks.
But I love it.
But I'm having so much fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I think, obviously, it's a lot of people who just, like, love Pokemon.
Yeah. But even some Lapse fans like Blessing.
Yeah. It's just like, I haven't played a Pokemon game in 4 or 5 years, and I'm having a wonderful time.
Yeah.
I can't explain why. I think I
Pokemon magic, bro.
I don't know. It's like I would recommend it to most people.
You love it despite. You love thee despite thee.
Exactly. It's just so frustrating because you know what it could be.
Yeah, it's like we're so close to great.
But you'd have to stop the train to fix the train, you know?
Yeah, don't release the game for a couple years, man.
But you'd have to stop the train.
Yeah.
The other solution is just get a second train.
Yeah.
So people can hop on one train.
Do what Call of Duty does.
Yes.
Yeah. Call of Duty.
They need to. It is so the fix, and I feel like
you just triple the size of your team.
Are they worried about like
one team working on Arceus game or Legends games?
Yeah.
One team working on a remake, and then one team working on the main game, and then you have remake come out, Arceus game, main game, remake, Arceus game, main game.
There cannot be a lack of game developers that want to work for Pokemon.
Fuck no, there's
probably thousands lined up to do it.
Of course.
It's like why not? Somebody needs to speak up.
It's a director of GameFreak. He has like a whole thing about wanting to keep his team small,
and that's fine. Keep your creative team in charge of all the games.
Yeah.
But then have 3 development teams that are all working on different projects.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard because you want to keep some through lines and like the consistency there. But
who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I don't care. I want good games. And the thing is, it's the best-selling IP in the world. Mm-hmm. So there's no like.
There's no excuse in my opinion.
Yeah, there's no excuse, but there's also no reason for them to be better.
Yeah, but there's more money to be made.
There is more money to be made, but it's like there's no
incentive.
Yeah, there's no like true incentive here. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I recommend it. I think it's a good Pokemon game. It's better than Sword and Shield in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I'm very interested to see where the DLC goes. The Pokemon themselves are very cool.
Yeah,
there's a lot of cool things they do. I won't spoil anything. You've seen them.
Yep.
I'm very excited to get to that point. I don't know, man. There's not too much more to say. It's a very cut and dry.
Pokemon going Pokemon.
There's some cool features like the auto battle stuff. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's a fun Pokemon game. I'm enjoying it. I hope other people enjoy it. I know Lucas is enjoying it.
Yep.
Chance is enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer's enjoying it.
People were liking it.
Cena enjoyed it.
Yep.
I've yet to see somebody be like, yeah, I put in 20 hours and I hated it. Which is what I think might happen when you play.
It might.
But maybe you'll feel different.
It happened with me in Sword and Shield, where I made it to like real close to the end and was like, this is the fucking god awful.
If you fell asleep while you're playing, I would fault you, I would fault you for this game.
Yeah.
Sword and Shield, I understand.
Yeah, that's
just boring.
That shit was seepy.
It's go to town, fight gym, go through route. That's very linear. Catch like 3 new Pokemon if you want, or ignore them all.
Yeah.
Go to next town, do the same thing. And like you got objectives, but it's like it's so different. Like when you enter they don't call them rounds, they call them areas. You enter an area. There's like 4 paths in this area you can take, and they're all intertwining. And there's like a mountain up here, and an underpass, and a tunnel you can take in this area. And there's all kinds of Pokemon spawning everywhere. It's just very, I wouldn't say like amazing map design, but it's way better.
Yeah.
So
good shit.
Can't wait to see how we step backwards next year.
The classic Pokemon way.
I guess next year will be DLC probably, so it'll probably be all good stuff. Right. The DLCs is like, there's nothing bad about the DLCs. It's just all good stuff.
Yeah. So. More Pokemons.
Do you see them patching this?
No, they never do.
They had a day 1 patch.
When have they ever patched a fucking game?
I had a friend at work be like, "Yeah, I'll probably play it when they patch it."
They won't. Dude, it's GameFreak. They will not patch it. They will start making their next game.
They're already done with their next game.
Yeah, exactly.
They're done.
They're not gonna be patching this.
I don't know, because they had a day 1 patch.
Everything has a day 1 patch, bro.
But like, is that day 1 patch team just done? They're like, no. And the thing is, there's no like accountability.
Nope.
Like if the Halo team does this,
people stop playing Halo.
People stop playing Halo, but then Halo talks about it. They address it.
Of course.
They're like, we acknowledge these issues.
GameFreak pretends that shit don't exist.
Because they don't need to. It's so like, you can't stop the train. That's it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That's Pokemon.
Now
it's time for Reader Mail. You can get your questions right on the show by writing into synceduppod@gmail.com or the Reader Mail submissions tab of the Discord with any questions, comments, or concerns. We'll have them read on the show. Like Chance says.
What's Chance saying?
Listening to Psycho Cross by Post, and the first lyric is "My AP going psycho," which is a reference to Fallout.
Going psycho.
What's the best video game reference in music?
Put an M right on your head.
You Luigi brother now.
Shout out Tony.
Yeah.
That's pretty much. That's got to be it, right?
Yeah, it's that one.
What else we got in the tank, bro?
I'm trying to think.
I feel like Lil Nas had to drop one, right?
Yeah, he did a whole League of Legends track.
Let's see.
Isaiah once said, like a little cub chew.
That's true. And it kind of hit.
Yeah, it did.
What's the whole bar?
I can't remember.
I know it's followed up with stepping on a beat.
Yeah.
What's the Biggie Smalls Atari line?
I have no fucking idea.
Is it Biggie Smalls? I don't know. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this.
Yeah.
There's that one.
Yeah, that one's pretty classic, actually.
Let me just look up best video game references and rap. See if we can get some good ones. The top 50?
That's too many.
Top 10. 10 great video game references. Mac Miller. I definitely don't listen to Mac Miller.
Time
Continuum. Mortal Kombat. Finish. I'm trying to find a balance region for my equilibrium.
That's okay.
Denzel Curry. Rip that one.
I've been on my job. No need to call out. Turn your crib into a game of Fallout. You put me in the water. I bet I crawl out.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
The line in particular feels like a comparison of Denzel's durability and endurance in comparison with anyone against him. Sure. Oh, ski mask. Ate a Mario mushroom quick. Banger, dude.
Young Lean.
I don't even know who Young Lean is.
Yellow black bracelet look like Pikachu. Stone Cold my Stone Island posted on the roof.
Is it top 10 best, bro?
Lupe Fiasco, bro. He fell
Proceed to the next level. Tron. City Morgue. I don't know.
Crash in the Coop. Do the Crash Bandicoot.
These cannot be the best ones, bro. ASAP Rock.
Okay.
Bazooka Tooth Zoo. Keep the paper route with janky funds and favors. Cradle by 12. Empty Zelda heart containers.
Okay, that's a little. Okay, we got some stuff.
I like that one. Schoolboy Q.
Grandma says she loved me. I told her I loved her more. She always got me things that we couldn't afford. The new J's and Tommy Hill in my drawers. Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64. See, GoldenEye was away at war. Okay.
Okay. Getting a little funky with it. Got JPEG Mafia. Karma in LA with the Blicky playing Contra. Nasty. Contra man.
You're stupid.
Doja.
Oh, yeah. We play our fantasies out in real life ways, and no Final Fantasy can we in these games, though. That's a classic line. It ain't as good as, put it in on your head, you Luigi brother now.
I feel like those are mid, bro.
Ose are weak bars, yeah, no.
We need some more bangers.
J. Cole got it for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely J. Cole. I'm going through this top 50 real quick just to see if anything pops out at me. What's Kanye saying? So I'm running through them circles. Boy, I'm looking like Knuckles. Right, man. Except
these are not good, man. These are not good. Probably just go to Kyle's Sex and Super Smash Bros.
I mean,
Kyle probably holds it down for good.
Yeah, they clearly don't reference like specific like video game based songs.
Yeah, eat a Mario Super Mushroom.
Oh, Royce the 5'9". My new bitch, call her my PS3. Your bitch pussy, call it my Xbox.
Stupid as hell.
Those are bad, bro.
Anyway, moving on.
Go ahead.
Spencer writes in, instead of remaking good games, what games that could have been good would you like to see remade?
Scarlett Violet.
Damn.
No.
Damn.
What game was like dropped and I was like, this ass.
No Straight Roads.
That was the biggest disappointment in my life, bro. I was so excited
to play that shit with you.
Yeah.
And then how you do split screen co-op with only one camera and player one controls that shit.
It was so bad. The game
game
was mid. Like there was nothing good about it, dude. I was so upset, dude.
Horrible. No Straight Roads for sure.
NSR. What else has been pretty mid?
I don't play.
Did you just say NSR wasn't mid?
He means like it was lower.
You think it's worse?
Yeah, I think that game is just bad.
Yeah, no, it's definitely bad.
Yeah, okay.
That game is just...
I don't know. What else has been?
I don't really play mid games.
Yeah, usually I get stopped before I end up playing doo-doo.
And then they're not memorable, so this becomes a difficult question to answer.
What was that wrestling game?
No, games that could have been good that you would like to see remade.
What was that wrestling game?
The fuck is that?
What's it?
Oh, Y2K?
Yeah, I did play that at PAX. Oh, we got another Contra reference. I protect my land like a farmer. Pockets taste chubby like Takara. Or should I say fat like the Parkers. Tote big guns like I'm still playing Contra.
It's always Contra.
It's because they're old, bro. They all only played Contra and Mortal Kombat. All me, no ghost, no 16-bit like Sega Genesis. Jay-Z? Oh, it's a Madden reference. We're skipping that one. That's mid.
Borderlands 3.
Borderlands 3? No, I like that game. It was fun.
I wouldn't say that was like, remake it, please.
Yeah, no, it was fun. A lot of Pokemon games usually.
Worst drop. What's the phrasing I should use here? Worst video game release?
No, you're gonna get some stinkers like fucking E.T.
That game was great. Oh, Cyberpunk on release, yeah.
So yeah, Cyberpunk, fuck yeah, dude.
That was pretty rough. Balan Wonderland, that game was
Sonic Adventure 2. Bro.
Sonic Adventure 2 could be good,
also,
yeah.
it's Balan Wonderland.
Yeah, Fallout 76.
What did I say? Wonderland? Yeah, Wonderworld.
Fallout 76, that's a good contender.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Survive. Actually, people like that game in the modern era, so we skipped it.
I don't know about no WWE.
WWE, yeah, those are all ass.
Mighty Number 9.
Sure.
Whatever.
Anthem, dude, fuck yeah, but Leave the Combat is so good.
Marvel's Avengers, on God, bro.
Yeah, dude, fuck.
That we were so close to a banger there.
God damn.
No Man's Sky repaired. We're good.
Yeah, we're fixed there. Anyway, yeah, there you go. That's it for this episode. You Luigi brother now.
You ever drop any video game bars in yours?
Probably.
Definitely. 100%.
Probably. I can't think of any though.
Can you think of any of your bars right now?
Nah. I know Jordan did a bunch with that one song. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Sync the Podcast. Thank you for watching or listening. Those who support us on the post show, Patreon, post show, $5 tier, we're gonna do that.
Support your
everybody else.
bakers.
We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Goodbye.
Get you some